This is the highway. I haven't even got to the back roads yet. I do it because it's what I have to do to get our life to a different level.
Hey guys, I just want to jump on here real quick, and I wanted to touch base about this micro I got. This was not an easy situation at all. It pretty much would have been impossible for probably 99.9% of people, except I'm just built different. So let's try to sum this up for you guys as quick as I can. I get this opportunity to take over this micro. It is a 3-hour drive one way from where I live. So just so you can understand, I would drive 3 hours in the morning, work anywhere from 6 to 12 hours, and then I would drive another 3 hours back home. It has been one of the most craziest years of my life. But not only being built a little wrong, put in a crazy place that is almost impossible to get to, this place is off the grid. The homestead and the houses here, as well as a little bit of the micro, are all run off of natural energy. But the micro runs off of generators. I took what was an impossible situation and I'm beginning to make it something great, not just for myself, not just for this industry, but for this world and so much further. We all need to come together, guys, realize that our only biggest challenges in life are ourselves. If you really want something as bad as you want to breathe, there is absolutely nothing you can do that will ever stop you. You guys, I'm proud of you. Do not give up. Don't let any hurdles, any struggles, or anything that knocks you down keep you down. Lift yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep fucking going. Let's turn the impossible possible, guys. Keep being the best you. Make the best of those great situations, and there's nothing but greatness coming for you. Have a blessed day, guys. Cheers.
Welcome to the Grandmaster Level Show. Winter is coming, but don't worry, we've brought the fire with a special guest of honor and a stacked panel. Our special guest came on my radar by becoming a top seller in multiple dispensaries. He's been in the legacy market for 30 plus years, and he's been making waves in the legal sector. Our special guest of honor is Kevin from Royal Harvest, and we also are joined but with Jeff from Smoker Farms. And we also have a stacked panel today with Bubble Man, Flora Farm, Preston, Spartan Grown, Charlene Paul, and Smokers Farms. How's it going, Kevin? Why don't you do a little introduction why don't you just tell us about yourself?
Sounds good. All right, guys. Kevin Barner, Royal Harvest. For me, this has been almost my whole life's journey. We started off, I come from the East, and I grew up in a family that, we were middle class, but on the lower middle class. I watched my family struggle a bit, to make ends meet. My family was never about cannabis, but the community I grew up in, I was very fortunate to be around my friends' parents who were very passionate about cannabis, like the medical properties of it, how it could heal, but as well, I could sit back and watch how they were taking care of their family and making things work with it. So at the young age of 12 years old, I started cracking seeds on my mom's window ledge because I didn't want to be a burden to my family. And since then, it's been a lifelong journey with so many ups and downs, so many mistakes and lessons, but everything is for purpose. I've truly been guided to be where I am today. Very blessed to be on your show, on the panel that I'm with. Everybody on here is so well respected, and I'm very honored to be here. So, we'll have some fun on here tonight. We'll get into some fun stories, some crazy stories, and some bone-chilling stories, so everybody can kind of understand where the love, the passion, and what's behind Royal Harvest.
Awesome. So where did this journey start? What province were you raised in?
So I come from Nova Scotia, and I grew up in a small town outside Halifax. So we'll go back even further. I was adopted at a very young age. I was adopted from a very bad situation. I grew up youngest age that I can remember having like separation anxiety. I couldn't be away from my family, my parents. It was almost an overwhelming feeling. So my whole life, I've kind of been battling this feeling of being lost, looking for something that I was missing. And through this whole journey, I found out what I was missing was within inside myself. And as soon as I found it, this is when all this great stuff has started to happen. So all this started back in Nova Scotia. There's not much work there. We paid some of the highest taxes in Canada. And it was one of those places, it was almost like BC. The weed culture there is super strong. That's all I've ever known. That's all I've ever grown up with. Everybody that I knew that became something moved out west to pursue their cannabis dream. And eventually, this is where I ended up. And as I said, everything in my life has been for a reason. And to be on the caliber and get the recognition of what this industry deserves, it really has to be out of British Columbia. As we all know, growing up, BC Bud is known all around the world. So to create something very special, it has to be from the heart of cannabis culture, and that's British Columbia. And that's how I've ended up here, I truly believe.
Now in Saskatchewan, I'm assuming it's sorry, yeah, you said Saskatchewan, right? Sorry.
No. Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia, sorry. Oh, that's a big difference. I'm assuming
very big. It's not so flat, Nova Scotia, a lot more wet.
Sorry, forgive me, guys. I got hit with a massive sickness a few days ago, so I'm trying to just keep up. So I'm assuming that the law over there too, because it's back east, is quite a bit harsher.
Yeah, it is no joke. Like we used to dream about being out west because we would hear about the leniency and what was getting charges and what was happening to guys out here. We would dream about that because there was no play. You got caught out east, you're up Schitt's Creek. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So it was always, you had to be on top of your game, really. I've had so many close calls, so many almost, that it's just, very blessed. And I'm sitting here and I'm on the legit side. I've been through some crazy shit, but I really believe that we have to share and grow from those experiences because it's that kind of stuff to shape me to be who I am, that taught me all those hard lessons from starting with shitty crops that I'm like, oh man, to where I am now today, where I'm literally cut, clean, fill, flip, and I can put 10 strains in one room, and I can guarantee you that all 10 are going to come down at the highest caliber that that strain can be. So, I mean, everything's a learning process, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So you said that you popped seeds at 12 is when you started. And so you've been growing basically since then, and you've got basically 30 years of indoor under your belt.
Yeah, we're almost, this year coming will be 35 years. First it started outdoors. We were doing, there's so much woods and everything. It's almost like BC and Nova Scotia. So what we would do, we were dragging shit in the middle of the woods, getting on marshy stuff. We were kind of doing it Dutch style because we were guerrilla growing at that point. We were just dragging plants in the wood at 12, 13 years old. We grow them up, and then I had to go home and bug my parents to let me hang it in the basement. I can remember my mother, at a young age, who they had nothing to do with cannabis, being like, how long does the house have to smell like this? They chose to love me and accept me for who I was instead of push me away, because where I came from, it was a real rough place, like everybody is a great person, like we all are who we are, but we're all put in different situations in life and around different situations. And where I come from and where I chose to put myself, because everything we do and where we are in life is because of our own decisions. And where I chose to put myself, it put me around some very crazy, crazy situations. But looking back at it, all those situations were for a reason. Every lesson, every hard step, every fall was all for a reason. I can literally sit here and blueprint my life to be where I am. Like, even going as far back as being adopted by my parents. I met my birth mother, and God love her, but I knew that if I had been there, my life would not be what it is. I may have grown up with nothing, but I grew up with a family core that taught me love, compassion, never to judge a person. It gave me faith in something greater than myself. So I can sit back and look at my life and see everything in my life to right where I am right now is for a reason. What's going on in the cannabis industry with me right now and what's happening is for a reason. Like, when I think cannabis, I think change. To me, this plant comes from the earth, it's going to give back to the earth. I'm going to show them, like, my program has been so many years dialed in that I can take this to a real level. I can show them, like, I know right now, I look at it, and us as growers, we're not getting paid what we should. And I hear people complaining about prices. Now, to me, that's like a kick in the nuts. And I'm not being rude, but it's like we put our heart, soul, and so much time in this. But the problem is, when big business came in and dumped money thinking that would grow weed, when the government pulled huge taxes off thinking this is such a lucrative business, when the black market crashed because of too many licensing, all of that put me in a position where I had a chance and the market was low. So now it is our time. What we have to do as a community, me as myself, is take the gift that I've been given by something greater than myself, and we start elevating this whole industry. The more we elevate it, the more we show them this works, this is how it works, is the more that we'll be able to achieve, show. It comes down to, what is it? In this world, there's probably 20, 30% of people that use cannabis. It's those 60, 70 people that we need to change the way they think. But it's going to take, it's going to take something real for them to understand that it can create something different. And this is where I am right now. All those lessons, all those bumps and bruises are to put me, as well as, I look at Bubble Man, he's in my life for a reason. I have Jeff in my life for a reason, and so many great people, because all of these people are coming into my life because together we are going to change the way those 60 and 70% of people look. And they're going to realize that through cannabis, we can change an industry. We can raise economics. We can bring more employment. We can create more opportunities. Like, I have so many ideas to not just give back, but to grow communities, to grow positivity. Like, the sky's the limit to what we can do once we change their thinking. And it just takes something real. And that's what Royal Harvest is about to bring.
Well, I like how you just when we go back to the values of you growing up, how you said, do not judge, and it's true. Don't ever judge, and do not ever underestimate anybody, because a lot can happen in 1 year. And, it's, you have a really inspirational story about being totally overweight and losing that weight. Charlene, why don't you actually share the picture for a second? Because I want people to see, and I think it's inspiring, and it could also inspire other people. Back, we don't have the system audio on that one picture there, Charlene. So when we switch sound, it cut out all the sound. Sorry. Just switch it back to the regular Zoom. Sorry. That's one thing that we'll have to fix for the future. Anyway, sorry. So it cut out right there as soon as we switched to the picture there, Kevin. So why don't you actually just start? You were saying that when you started losing this weight is when this crazy journey really started for you. And
Yeah.
how old were you when this happened, by the way? And
Okay, so like I said, life has been crazy to say the least. So I had started in my mid 30s, as I was saying. I went to walk up the stairs from my basement. I was about 320 pounds.
did we just lose them? Or
Looks like they froze up.
yeah.
Got a kind of good frozen thing going on.
So,
He's dabbing. He's dabbing.
yeah, it's one of those things that once you make up in your mind that you truly need to make a change, you will make that change. So from that moment that I realized I had to lose the weight, I started eating better, started going to the gym, and the discipline was insane. As you guys know, we all battle different things in life, so many ups, so many downs. And the thing was, every day, no matter how bad my day was, I still showed up, I still put in the work, and I still got it done. There was a time that I didn't have to grow weed anymore. And we'll get into these stories later. And I took a massive fucking hit. But the very next day, no matter how hard it hurt, I was in the gym, putting in the effort to, better myself. I look at it. My dad passed away a year and a half ago, right before this micro friggin' popped off. I ended up getting the micro. And because I'm struggling in life, I took so many hits. We'll get into that in a little bit, that, life is tough. We all struggle. And I couldn't make it back to my dad's funeral, and I was watering a room while his funeral was going on. And as I'm crying in there, I'm realizing that if I'm watering on my dad's funeral to make my dreams a reality and and make some real change in this world, that I will put everything I am till my last breath. And I learned through my weight loss journey that if I really put that mindset in and I really put that effort, that I can make the impossible possible. And that is what's happening right now. And what's happening, what you guys see with the micro, the brand's doing well. You know, I won the Unicorn Cup. I just won the Collector's Cup. These were all things that I seen in my mind long before I even went legit. And if I could only tell you what I see in my mind in the future, when I tell you guys the best is yet to come, the best is yet to come. Believe in yourself, man, and don't ever give up. And I'm telling you, you can achieve anything.
Absolutely, man. I'm a firm believer in that, of where I've made it pretty big and lost it a few times over in my life, and I know what it's like to literally have basically think that you've made it and then go back to the drawing board, and it's a real struggle. And it's not easy.
You know, and it's great that you say that, because to me, I know that so many people out there, so many people that are watching this, so many people that are listening, I get it and I understand. We've all taken those major hits, those major hurts, all of it, but pull yourself the fuck up and get at it. I'm telling you, no one's going to give it to you. Nobody. You got to make up in your mind that it's time and figure out, nothing just comes. You hear everybody, oh, I want money. I want to do this. But if you don't have a plan, if you don't have a focus and you don't have a goal, it won't come. When I got really right with myself, owned all my lies, all my bullshit, everything I told myself, when I got really right with myself, I'm telling you, Thomas, my life has changed. I went from making sandcastles out of shit piles to some of the most craziest opportunities I could ever fucking imagine. Excuse my language. Just passionate.
No, I totally can relate, and it's incredible. Like how I mentioned is, don't ever judge it. Do not ever underestimate, because when you put your head down and you start swinging every single day and you don't give up, it's just a matter of time and you actually hit. And you just have to have that motivation of going. I can totally relate. I know what it's like to build a company from nothing in the worst possible time, and it's the same sort of thing where we just have the drive to keep on going and not give up. At the same time, also know when you do have a bad idea, sometimes you have to abort it and move on.
Well, I look at it like when I was overweight years ago, like I still have tattoos on me saying heavy. That was my nickname. And I remember trying to get in shape before and going, you know what, I'm just not meant to do it. I can't do this. And I lived with that mentality for so long until I got to the point where I was like, no, I am going to do this. And I let nothing stop me. And it went from the weight loss journey to the mental change journey to literally manifesting and creating things like you wouldn't believe, like true faith and true belief. And one of these stories that I like to share with everyone, I know a few of you have already heard it, but I'll share it, is and it's not cannabis related. I truly have been guided to be where I am, and I know something greater than myself has me here. So in my early 20s, I was dating an amazing woman, and she ended up dying in a car accident. So right before I was moving out west, and this is like 2 years after the accident, I was pulling onto the highway. Now, I've never picked up a hitchhiker, and I never picked up a hitchhiker again. And as I'm pulling on the highway, there's an old guy hitchhiking, and I still hear the voice in my head today saying, Kevin, you have to pick him up. So I stop and I pick this guy up, and we're driving and we start talking. And the next thing you know, car accidents come up. And I'm like, oh yeah, I had a girlfriend that died in a car accident about 2 years ago. And he's like, no way. He goes, my daughter died in a car accident about 2 years ago. It ended up being Teresa's dad. He broke down in tears and was like, I've been wanting to meet you since her passing. I heard how happy she was, da da da. Him and I talked. I dropped him off at where he was going, and we never spoke again. And I mean, I've never met him, never known him, and never seen him again. But that same voice that said, Kevin, you have to pick him up, is the reason I am right where I am, doing right what I'm doing. And I'm telling you, when I say there's about to be some world change because our world needs it, it's coming. Cannabis is about change. It's about healing. We change the way we think, and we're going to change the world. Mark my fucking words. Excuse me. I don't mean to curse so much, but I can't help it. It's passion inside of my chest, right? Like, this shit is for real. Like, for real. I look at, I just see Marcus smile, and I love that smile. I look at me and him playing around with my weed, and to hear feedback on what my weed can do from someone who has really put in the work, in the legwork, in his art and his craft, I know that it's something special. Like, not only do I want to grow great flower, I want to also have facilities so I can get my product in guys like Marcus's hands and beyond, because, we're going to create something different. I also want to get into the medical side where I can start working with the doctors, the scientists, where I know it's a bit different. If let's try making tumor treatments with my cannabis. Let's start working on stuff for seizures with my cannabis. It's really limitless what we do. Like I got approached by some amazing scientists out of Innovate Labs here in Kelowna. And what they want to do is they want to start doing case testing on like THC testing and terp testings, because everybody has this false idea that these high THC is where it's at. I can grow a low THC cannabis that will blow people's minds and they will not even understand what hit them. But because the way everybody has been trained to think, for some reason, they're missing out on some of the most amazing cannabis in the world. So one step at a time, we keep working, learning, teaching, and aspiring to become something greater. We elevate this industry and we elevate everything that's happening in this world. And it's guys like you, guys like everybody on this panel, and those that are listening that are going to change it. It's our time. It's fresh. It's been 5 years in. The mistakes have been seen. And now everybody is hungry to get it right. We're about to shape this to be what it should be.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm just trying to breathe.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I ramble on. You can cut me off at any point. I don't know how to explain it. It's like I have this energy in my chest all the time that just wants to explode. I don't even know how to, sorry, I get a bit emotional. I don't even know how to explain the feeling of 12-year-old Kevin that used to walk around his mom's house and say, I feel like I'm meant to do something. I feel like something inside of me is meant to do something. And then, a year later saying, I want to do something with this plant for the rest of my life. And to look at where I am, like there was a time that I didn't have to do this anymore. And, you take hard lessons, like I ended up, because of jealousy and greed, I ended up getting in a situation where I almost got killed, blah, 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 and losing everything I had, So I wake up one morning after that shit happening, and guess what? I'm right back in my grow room the very next day doing what I had to do. Then from there, I start stacking a little bit again, and I'm invested into a house with my ex, and we're going to redo it. We're going to make some money, blah, blah, blah. I wake up one morning at 2:00 in the morning to the house on fire. I just get her kids out. I go back in and get my dogs out. I burnt my feet so bad, I couldn't even wear my shoes for a month and a half. Her and I were splitting. So the next morning, about 7 years ago, I woke up in a hotel room with my 2 dogs, boxer shorts, and my feet burnt so bad I couldn't wear shoes. And that's all I had 7 years ago. And you know where I was that morning? In my grow room, watering, doing what I had to do, because I believe in this so much. And I'm looking at what is happening right now in my life. Those lessons taught me what was important. I could give a fuck less about any material thing. I've been almost living out of my truck in a duffel bag with like the same fucking clothes. You know what I mean? Putting the grind on. Like, I'm having fun with the Instagram and people are seeing what's going on, but they do not understand what kind of fucking real push it takes to make this happen. But I see something so much greater, not just for myself, not just for this industry, but far beyond this, right? So I am on this show for a reason. I have amazing people like you guys in my life for a reason. This is the beginning of change, not just in our industry, guys, but far, far beyond it. All those hard knocks, all that bullshit, everything we went through had to make me who I am, see life for what it is. I'm a realist. I don't fuck around, and I'll take my last breath before I don't make this happen for every one of you. Like, I kid you not, this isn't about me. As I elevate things, it elevates for everybody. I'm done with the world looking at cannabis like it's a fucking joke. I'm done for people trying to, barter on $3 a fucking gram. Like, what you gotta say, enough is enough. There is some quality, there is some realness, there is some change, there is some growth. You're not gonna get out of the world any other fucking industry what I can create out of cannabis. I Sorry, guys. I kid you not. There's a lot of love and passion behind what I do, right? So, sorry, there I go again.
I like the conviction.
Oh man, when you're in the game for so long and it's your life, it takes over your life. And this is how your brain reacts to things, man. It's passion, but it's a never stop attitude for the love of weed.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
So,
I like the change too that you show in the whole experience, because you know, I always wondered, you came out of this hardship, all this crazy shit's happening, you got yourself on the other side of things. Say what you want about legal cannabis, it definitely sucks, and it's excise and all this other stuff, but I will say that it doesn't come with the same karmic debt of hearing off of prohibition, which is our brothers and sisters going to prison. I never understood that. I just couldn't put it together. But after a while, when amazing people that were just growing beautiful cannabis, I was like, why are these people having problems? Why does everyone I know getting into shit and getting busted and getting ratted and getting robbed and just like every possible thing you could possibly imagine? And I kind of tied it down at the end to this karmic debt that was owed for profiting off of, oh, that guy went to jail for 10 years. Guess how much we're going to get pounds for in his state? Like, ooh.
And I love that you say this, Marcus, because to me, I had to lose everything. I had everything, but I had to lose everything. I had to go to where I am. Listen, I have all my credit maxed out. I have everything, but I've got everything on the line, but I have an opportunity. I have a goal and I have a vision, and I am watching these goals and vision come to reality every single day. I'm telling you, if I could tell anybody out there, it's like, I don't care how hard it is. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you come from. When you get right with yourself, the hardest thing to get control of is yourself, is your own thoughts, to discipline yourself. But when you can harness that, when you can control yourself, your thoughts, your visions, your goal, your life will change. Your world will change. Mark my word, right? It's an amazing thing.
I was gonna say, so you've been at this for quite some time. I'm assuming you've tried quite a few different ways of growing. Heston and Spartan are big organic growers, and from my understanding, you like to grow organically. Are you like synganic, or do you grow both, or like what is your style? What's
I'll
your
tell you, I have tried everything, and what I've done in the last 7 years, I took it right back to where I started. And I can tell you, my program works so good. It is the cheapest overhead in the game. And I literally cut, clean, fill, flip. My flower lights stay 365. And I can do this on such a level and such a scale that it's staggering. Now, for me, I keep it simple. I respect every style. I respect every grower and that they do. But you know what? I change my soil every time. I love my old school GH. And I keep it to that stuff. I keep it to what I learned. You know, when I was young and I was first learning, they always used to say, you're going to hear all the grow store ideas and the grow store tales. But they said, you keep it to the simple science, light, air, some CO2, and some food, and you will always win. So I've tried it all. I've done it all. I went back to the simple basics. I grow in soil. I change my bales every time. I use general hydroponics because, as you guys know, I'm very blessed, and you can see from the reactions in the legit market, which is great, because when you're in the black market, you really don't get the recognition you should. There's so many amazing legacy guys out there. I absolutely love you guys. Keep grinding out. We'll find a way to make sure you all raise up and get what you deserve. But you know, you don't get the recognition that you deserve because the market was so cutthroat at the end. But coming into the legit, you really see the value of your hard work, and it's a very great thing. So I keep it simple. I keep it to those basics. I can do the same program, whether it's under Gavitas, LED, it doesn't matter. I've walked into so many facilities that were failing and literally went in, and within 8-9 weeks, they were cut, clean, fill, flip, cut, clean, fill, flip. The program is key, and that's why it smokes like it does. That's why it dumps like it does. The best is yet to come, guys. I'm so excited.
When it comes to genetics, well, we met for the first time in person at the Grow Up Conference. I got to try a couple of your strains, and I have to admit they were flavors that I had never tasted before. They were very new and unreal flavors. I think one of them was the breeder's cut of the frosted fruit cake, and the other one was like a sherbet or something. And they, sorry, man, they are new flavors, man, and that's the new, like, and it's very new to me. So
Well,
you've got a lot of genetics. I saw you got a pretty big list. Why don't you tell us a little bit about
so
what
the
you?
great thing is I've always had genetics. I've always had genetics for a long time. So, yeah, no, I've become really good friends with some great breeders, great people. You know, like I said, life is a blessing, and bringing them in. My favorite, hands down, is the frosted fruitcake. I entered the Unicorn Cup, and at that time, the frosted fruitcake didn't have a SKU yet, so I wasn't able to enter it. So I did enter the sherbet, and that won. Literally at the Collector's Cup here, that just happened with Canna Reps. We ended up entering the frosted fruitcake, and that took first place overall. So that is something special. The guys at Sacred Cuts have been doing some absolutely amazing work, and the flavor profile that they brought on that is unreal. The blessing is with my program, I can take any strain, does not matter what it is, and elevate it. You know, I've been doing this for, like I said, a very long time, and I have some crazy old school OGs, you know, all that stuff that the market's screaming for, and I'm going to bring it to a caliber that they're not used to. And that's the great thing about this program. Whatever strain it is, whatever you put in front of me, I'm going to take it to a different level. I'm very blessed because I look at it. We have 2 cups within the last little bit, and both of them are with different strains. So it kind of shows that it doesn't matter what the strain is. The program that Royal Harvest is bringing is what the difference is. Like I said, something greater than myself has me where I am. This is all for a greater purpose than myself, than cannabis, and it's one step at a time.
Sorry, guys, my nose is so plugged that I can't breathe through it at all at this point. Sorry, just are there any questions, Charlene, or anything that have come in yet?
No questions yet.
Yeah, I do.
I just want to give a thumbs up to that Soil Life shirt that Heston's wearing. That's what's up.
Heston,
Soil Life.
Grassroots, thank you. Yeah, shout out to Grassroots.
That is a cool shirt.
Heston is a very big no living soil grower, organic.
No living soil. What is that?
Sorry,
He's heavily medicated. I forgive him. It's fine.
I'm not medicated. Sorry.
No, did you
I
not
took
know
some
something?
NyQuil. No, I haven't. I cannot smoke when my throat's like this. No, I took some NyQuil just to try to.
That's what I'm medicated.
Yeah,
That's what I meant.
okay.
I thought you probably
Sorry.
took a bunch of cold medicine and tried to help.
What did I say? I said no-till living soil.
No living soil.
You said no living soil.
Anyways,
It's like dead soil, right?
Heston, why don't you kind of just give it a second to kind of tell us what you have going on? Because I know you're doing kind of like a course where you're like helping people learn organics and trying to go back to being, well, back to the roots and organic.
Yeah. So that's spot on. I just do no-till living soil beds. And been like I tried a little bit of everything, and that's kind of where I settled in my path. I decided to pursue and growing. And yeah, there's a lot of people who are kind of hesitant to make the switch if they've been having success with whatever method they're using. They're just hesitant to try something that they may not be able to, hit the ground running with. And there's definitely a learning curve to it. So just trying to put together a program for people that are interested in making a switch from whatever they are doing now to building building the living soil beds and working from that point.
Did you do GEM certification? Do you know Josh and Kelly? Are they like on your radar?
What certification? I'm sorry, cut out.
DEM Pure, Dragonfly Earth Medicine.
No, yeah, no, I do. I'm a fan of what they do there. I'm not working with them at all. This is a separate, no certification or anything. This is just kind of basically my step by step. We're going to do hands-on soil building and all the way through harvest and what I do with the Jadam and natural farming preparations and sprouted seed teas and just basically building soil all the way through harvest, hands-on 101 course for people that are interested. And had a few pre-launch videos last few days. It's gone pretty well, and the official class launches on my website next week, next Friday. So,
Right on, man. Congratulations. That's what's up. I'm a big proponent of the living soil.
Yeah, it's, like I know what Heston said, or some people don't want to make the switch and stuff. And I can kind of understand when something's working really well from you or working well, it's like you don't want to have to try to fix it if it's not broken. And but at the same time, I think it's important to look at technology and embrace it. So if there are any other tools that you can use to help whatever way that you are farming, I think they should be embraced, because there's so much stuff that's only going to help it. Like I brought this up just the other day about for 20 years, we used to walk into the room and get hit with a heat wave and to discover that our air conditioner was down and that kind of stuff, right? What were we going to say, Spartan?
Yeah, and when you say it needs to be fixed or not, it's like, no, of course, like it's not that it needs to be fixed. It's like they took cannabis and they put it in basements, and this entire system of growing was against the natural way. And if you look at all other plants that grow naturally in the world, they grow with a symbiotic relationship with their roots and fungi, the mycorrhizosphere. And that mycorrhizosphere has an intelligence that we don't even understand, but it can basically sequester the components that the plant requires, when it needs them, how it needs them, where it needs them, and just take care of all of that. And that's really fucking hard to do as just like a grower. So that is like an intelligence you may want on your side down the line, people that are, watching the show or whatnot, because I think we got a couple hundred right now. So that's just my look on it. I grew both ways in my life, and I definitely found that salt newts were more convenient for the prohibition-based growing methodology that I kind of was following for a long time. I was kind of like, holy shit, like this is just nice. It's in bottles. I can just kind of like do the mixing versus, actually creating living soils. It reminds me of that guy, Joe Pallison. I don't know if you guys ever read Michael Pollan's book, The Omnivore's Dilemma, but in it, he goes to buy this chicken from this like this guy's like known as the guy that just has the tastiest chicken. But Michael Pollan wants him to mail him one. And he's like, no, I won't mail you one. You have to come get it. Part of this guy's mentality. And when you meet him, he's like, I'm like growing soil. I'm creating grass. I'm a grass farmer. And then I create a closed loop of all my animals. And then my animals express themselves and come out in a way that is at such a higher level than, most of the swag that the rest of the world is producing. That being said, the resin that I smoked from Kevin was extremely high caliber. And not only that, before I met Kevin, what I noticed was all of these different people that like almost never agree on any one thing and are all like super high level pot snobs of the highest order. We're all like praising this guy in the chat room that I was in for book club. And I was just kind of like, what the fuck is it like, like this guy fucking paying everyone off? Like what's going on here? So when I first met Kevin and saw and smelt his flower and then actually got to work with it as well, I mean, the proof was in the pudding. So things can also be done in quite a special way as well, without living soils, which is crazy. For me,
100%. I'm not
it.
saying I didn't mean to imply that at all, because definitely there's skill and passion
you didn't
involved,
imply it at all.
Whatever methodology people decide to employ as their personal choice,
right?
The quality comes out in the end. Whatever that passion and effort input is the output. No matter what media you're growing in, what nutrients you're running with, it's personal preference and personal choice. And at the end of the day, it's an ion in the rhizosphere to the plant. It doesn't care if it's organic or salt-based fertilizer. So it's it's all the other choices that lead to that final product. And for me, I just enjoy that method. That's what does it for me. And I would never, like you said, at the end of the day, we're all growing together, and that's what really matters. And if you see, I love your sentiment, by the way, from what you said earlier, because if you look today, earlier on my Instagram account, I made a meme that says, a rising tide lifts all ships. And I'm right there with you. It's like the time to backstab and undercutting each other is over because if we don't unite right now and lift each other up to combat those larger entities that seek to keep us down, none of us are going to have a choice. And that's where they keep us fighting amongst ourselves instead of lifting each other up. So I appreciate your sentiment on that. It really spoke to me.
Yeah, and I think
just a sec there, I was going to say, because I've done living soil and I do knockout in living soil, so I respect every style, but like I said, what is coming is supposed to, like I said, this is world changing. That's all I can say. This is supposed to hit every corner of the world. I feel it within myself. And the way I have designed it, because to me, living soil is an art. Those that are good at it are crushing it, but it is hard to teach the average Joe living soil. I'm being for real. So I've just made my program so simplistic, and the results, I'm so blessed, kind of speak for themselves. I'm honored to hear what Marcus says about working with it. And I mean, I have other amazing, like Ryan from Raws and Unity, stuff like that, who have worked with it, that the returns have been staggering and the quality is staggering. So it's like, as you said, everybody has their own style. Every grower has their own method. Jeff, I'm in soil. Jeff's in Rockwell, so it all works. We all get to the same point the way we are. I've just been very blessed, and I truly feel by something greater than myself with a program that literally, whatever strain I run, whatever facility I am, whatever we decide to do, it works. So very blessed. And so whatever anybody does, there's no wrong. We all love what we do, right? So we're all winning if we're doing it.
Yeah, I agree. That's kind of what I was about to answer to say, was that it's just like a tool in your tool chest. Every different way to grow gives you a way to be able to grow in different situations. I mean, I grow in living soil at home, but I also will go throw some salts around too in a big commercial grow. So depending on what you're doing and what your result that you're looking for, they're both total viable options. And you can do living soil commercially too. I'm not saying you can't. For me, the big game changer, I'm more of like a down to earth practical guy. And I do have the some of the knowledge, and there's still knowledge like what Marcus was saying. We don't even know yet about happening down there. But the thing for me was, hey, this is a way to grow at home where you don't have to empty your buckets anymore. You don't got to change out the soil. You don't got to keep buying soil. You don't got to do any of that. And that was just a huge load off a huge load of work off of me. I don't have to fill pots anymore, I don't have to wash those pots anymore. There's so many different things when you're reusing the same thing again and again. There's so many different
people throwing away their soil was about as bad as them throwing away their trim for all of these years.
Oh,
Thank
my
God,
God.
the bubble bags shut that shit down. That shit got shut down when bubble bags came out. But the throwing of your soil, the very thing, it's like, dude, that's what you're growing. Doesn't matter what you put in and that fruits out of it. The soil is what you're growing.
When
I'm just gonna throw this away.
When Spartan just said that, it gave me flashbacks to when I first started. Like, I remember my very first trimming position in '96, and back then you didn't even have cell phones. You had a pager, but like you go in the back of vans and you'd have blacked out glasses. Everybody would go to the spot. You don't even know where you're going. It's kind of funny how crazy it's evolved. And like you would dump soil in the middle of the night. You'd have your vehicles. You'd have to get it out of the house. I remember
in a garbage bag or something,
just to get it out of some houses. Like if you're in a residential area that doesn't have a garage and you're having to do it in the middle of the night, bag by bag, and then go dump it in the middle of nowhere.
Dude, shit wasn't easy. You had to you couldn't even get photos. Like you couldn't take photos then, or you could get busted for that.
That's the heartbreaking part right there. That's the heartbreak. How many awesome photos have we lost due to that. You know, just some of the old strains that could be documented. It would be so wonderful to see.
Dude, how many people that got popped that didn't even consider it? They're like, "Oh, go get those photos developed," and it's like, boom, 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 like
Oh,
a couple
yeah.
hours later. Holy shit!
So there was a 2-hour drive to Fayetteville, Arkansas, from where I live to do an automated film drop to do pictures, and that was like the only place within a reasonable driving distance to go get a photo drop it off and get it developed, so no one would ever see it, because like I said, you would never even consider taking film to like someplace in town to get developed. It's a one-way ticket for sure.
What year would that have been, though?
Late 90s.
Late 90s, eh? That's awesome.
Someone in chat just asked about the Borg, about can you pre-program to switch spectrum several times a day? And that is one of the cool features that we just got finished. So yes, so you can literally have it. So you start the day with a spectrum for 4 hours, and then for 2 hours, you could go to heavy blue, then for another couple hours, back to red, then back to your base spectrum for the rest of the day. And then you can switch it to far red to put your plants to sleep. And then you can wake your plants up with some 660. It's pretty much endless. It's super, super exciting. I saw that in chat, and like we literally are getting 10 messages plus a day about the controller. I'm sorry it's taken this long. We had to make that last little change. I just didn't feel right about releasing something that's like works pretty decent but doesn't have everything perfect. So we're realistically looking at 4 weeks to being like on soil here in Canada and USA.
So by the end of the year, you're saying?
Definitely.
Right.
It will definitely be here by the end of the year. And the wait was worth it. It's kind of crazy how, we're using it for like a week and we didn't think there was any issues and we thought it was working perfectly. And then I do one little setting and realize, hey, I can't do this where I could do it on the previous model. And it is what it is. And, it's going to be the last time we ever try to like develop something and like put it out there before it's fully finished. There's a lot of learning steps when we're doing this, and we were kind of just in a rush to bring everything to the market, and we finished the Borg before we finished the controller. But it's a learning lesson. Sorry, man. This cold, man. My whole family just, when you got 3 little kids going to different schools, man, it's like during school, it's like I could make it 2 weeks without a cold, and it always lasts the longest for me too. I wanted to bring up Preston. He was dealing kind of with a situation. If you guys don't know Preston, he's like an RDWC master and DWC. It's got a super good understanding. If I ever had any type of questions about it at all, I'd be hitting him up. And he actually has our Death Bubba cut and was doing some stuff. And then you got hit with some type of, what was it like? It was a type of beneficial bug that's really bad, or like that's really bad when you get into like a DWC system with water where it's not so bad in soil. Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so several months ago, I got hit with, I thought it was Springtails at first, just by the first sight of it. It was a white bug that was crawling around. And I forget who it was in chat in Instagram told me that he's a bug expert. He told me that they're called mold mites, and they're pretty indestructible. I've hit them with like 99% ISO and it doesn't phase them. So it's like, you got to use bleach, stuff that the roots don't like. So it's not very conducive for getting rid of them in hydro. They're basically beneficial in soil, but in hydro, they just love to thrive inside of a wet, moist bucket, and they populate very quickly in that atmosphere. So supposedly harmless, but in hydro they can get really messy in the root zone, and that's not something I really want. That's why I grow hydro, is I'm not into bugs. It's just not something that we need in hydro. So it's just been it's been a nightmare. I was growing in a room that I shouldn't have been growing in. There's an old hot tub underneath where I had those plants, and there's carpet in the basement here. We haven't had a chance to renovate yet. So yeah, just not a good environment for high humidity. These mold mites just love that environment. So I had to shut that room down. I had to kill all my Death Bubba plants, unfortunately. So hopefully next run I can get a cut, or halfway through this run I can get a new cut of Death Bubba and start a mum, and then I'll take my own cuts here at home. So that's kind of where I'm at. I got some new cuts coming from Growers Guild to fill up my room. I've had just a lot of kicks in the nuts with this run, leaks in my hydroponic system. So I tried fixing it. That didn't work. And Current Culture reached out to me, saw all the issues that I was having, and they're this company's awesome. They want to help me out. They want to get me going again. So they're sending me out a 16 site system similar to the one I have. And in a couple weeks, I should be setting up a brand new Current Culture system and getting everything ripping again. So yeah, I'm so happy. I manifested the shit out of this, and it works. Like manifest, don't ever give up. Just if you're passionate about what you do, people will see that and they will come and help you out. So I'm very blessed.
That's awesome that they
Yeah.
offer to do that. Now, when you said Springtails, it started making me laugh for a second because I know Springtails are beneficial too, but I've had a couple crops where, man, I watched a 2-hour documentary on Springtails, and they definitely can eat on your roots. I guess if they don't have, I don't know, I can't remember now if it's like organic matter or everything else that they feed on, but if they run out of that, they will eat on your roots. And I've seen a couple crops where there's like tens of thousands of them. So it's like, I don't think they were good. Like on one pot, if you got thousands and thousands of them dancing off the tops of your pots, I think it's just a little bit too much.
Yeah, it doesn't sit well when you see that kind of stuff happening in your hydro system. So I've had to shut down a couple grows because of it, and lesson learned. So
Totally.
the rooms I'm growing in now, they're sealed and sanitized, and there's no carpet in here, and it's a little bit better living conditions for plants. So it's my own fault. We all learn by making mistakes, and it makes us stronger. So just got to keep going. Never give up. Don't let anything let you down. Just let it roll off your shoulder and take it as a learning lesson, and try not to feel too bad about it, right? Just
Take it
move
on the chin and keep on moving.
Yeah, exactly.
So Kevin, I was going to say you've got you're expanding into the States. Tell us about that. You got a couple of projects going on?
Well, okay, we'll just back up a little bit. So, the micro I got. So I ended up getting this opportunity. This is where it kind of all starts from. Once I got right in my head there, and everything started coming to to a reality, I ended up getting an opportunity at this micro. So it was very far from where I lived. It was off the grid. It was almost an impossible situation. So it was the 3-hour drive one way from where I lived. So I would drive 3 hours, work 6 to 12 hours, drive 3 hours back. Then the next day, I would have to work elsewhere to make sure I was paying my bills. The next day, 3 hours there, 6 to 12 hours back. I've done that for the last year now. So been very blessed. I knew that I looked at it like this. I've been given a plane. Now I have to get it off the runway. It could have been, I don't even know how to explain it. The drives through the winter, like I would drive this route, 60 kilometers of this drive was pure logging road, back roads that weren't even plowed. Like there was mornings I had to get out there and try to rip trees out of the road to get by because there was so much snow I couldn't even turn around to go back. So it was that kind of drive and that kind of work ethic to not miss out on this opportunity that got me to where I am. So from there, this last year has been almost unbelievable. It went from an opportunity, but it was almost an impossible opportunity. But I worked just like my weight loss. With all I was, I let nothing stop me. I worked relentlessly. So here's the plane on the runway. Now I finally got it getting up. People understand the consistency of my weed, the quality of my weed. It doesn't matter what strain it is, you give it to me, it'll be unreal flavor, unreal quality. Your numbers will come in right. So because of this, I've been blessed with other opportunities. So this micro, as we know, is in a very isolated place. It runs off of generators. So I've been lucky enough to get a facility that's a little bit bigger, a little bit closer to reality, and way more functionality to start building the brand like it should be.
Is this property so there's no power at all? It's just completely off grid?
Absolutely. It's funny when you drive there, there's power poles till you get to a certain point. I remember the first time I went, I stopped and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Am I going to the right place? Like, I was like, did I miss this? And then I just kept driving and I just kept driving and I just kept driving. And all of a sudden, I come to this incredible place. Like, it's a beautiful, nice spot in the middle of nowhere, but it was a spot where they had a nice little medical and they thought, hey, here's an opportunity to make something right and try a business. But it was a very hard situation that I'm going to be honest. Even the build on it, like I go back and I look at the people that help people get licensing, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, any person in their right mind would have said, you need to think about what you're doing. Any consultant would have been like, you are literally in the middle of nowhere. You're running off generators. The market is in the fucking dumps. You know what I mean? Like, I'm being for real. Would have said, this is not a great idea. But unfortunately, it got built, and it got built, to me, it got built wrong with everything I needed missing. All I had is 2 flower rooms, right? So I start with 2 flower rooms and almost an impossible situation. And again, off grid, running off generators, 6-hour round trip a fucking day, 6 to 12 hours a day, relentless effort. The first couple rooms, because of different issues, were a hiccup. And I almost didn't sell that weed. I sat on it for a while till I cut my next rooms. And because it was not to what the quality that I'm used to. But it got to a point that we're running off generators. I have no choice. I have to let this fly. So I let it go into the market. And the fucking reviews, I was mind blown because, you know, no ego or anything, but that was my worst day. That was my worst day. Like, and so I was like, thank goodness I'm starting to make it through the storm. And as time went on and I started fixing the mistakes that were made, even though the run costs are a little higher because of my program, it still makes up for running off of diesel. Because when they built it, the war wasn't going on in Ukraine. All that wasn't happening. And as I think about Ukraine, what I want to touch on is one of the things we want to do and I want to do as my company grows and we start to become profitable. I want to build greenhouses in, you know, lower income communities and communities that need it. And I want families to volunteer their time with them and their kids, help with the harvest. And then when we cut, we share that throughout these communities. And the reason Ukraine made me think of that, my dreams and my goals are so big. I even think if we're able to get greenhouses into Ukraine, start helping them grow food, cannabis for PTSD and medicine, from there we teach them to create an industry that they can start to build their growth back quicker. There's so many opportunities with cannabis. The reason I touch with those, my visions and my goals and where this is going, I don't say I hope anymore. I don't say I wish anymore. I know this is coming. My visions, my goals, my dreams are to really make change in this whole world. I don't give a fuck. I love that my blessing is cannabis and my gift. I am so passionate. I love her with all I am. But my purpose is so much more. It starts here, you guys. It starts with you guys. It starts with everybody that takes the time to listen to this. This is the truly beginning of change in our world. We need it. It's no bullshit. You look around at how many people are on the streets struggling. We're spending money on $1 million chandelier under a fucking bridge when we have people suffering. Like, what is going on? Cannabis has always been that crutch. It has always been, it's looked down on because those that really needed help, which were looked at as whether it be the hurting, the lower class, the whatever, they resignated to cannabis. Now that it's real, we need to teach those other people that we were drawn to this because we know what a healing plant it was. We know how it helped. We know what it created. We know what a medicine it was. And as we teach this throughout the world, you guys watch. What starts today, what has started in my life at 12 years old is all going to come a reality, you guys. I want to thank everybody that's here, everybody that's out there listening. You know, we're doing a coat drive, you know, can of coats, you know, like we went on with an idea. Namir from High Quads had reached out to me. He knows my passion for things. And he's like, we want to put together a coat drive. We started, I put up a post and the response is heartwarming. We have so many, what it was a bunch of passionate craft growers and people that want to make some change and they see what I'm doing and what's going on that wanted to start something different. So we reached out through a post stating to the community what we want. We want stores to come on as donation drop-off centers. It has been overwhelming. And thank you to all you retailers who have been reaching out. The RCC jumped on right away to help make a difference. You know, I look at this and I'm like, one little thing is going to make such a difference for so many families. And the way we're doing it is wherever your store is, your customers, your community are bringing these donations in. Our volunteers, when they come to get them, we're going to take those donations and bring them to the local homeless shelters, women's shelters, and charities that need it in your own community. So it's your own customer and your own communities giving back to your own customers and your own community. You guys, cannabis is going to heal the world. I am going to put this on my back. This is not a fucking ego thing. I live, I breathe what I'm doing. True faith and belief in who you are, something greater than yourself. And no matter fucking what happens, I don't give a fuck. Don't make excuses. Get up, go at it. I'm telling you, from someone who thought life was impossible, who made excuses, who lied to himself, who was in search for something different. Once I found it inside of here and started transitioning into here, life has changed. You guys, I don't know how to say it any more than if I can make the things happening that are happening, you can too. I don't care how hard it is. Honest to fucking God. If you even need help, hit me up on Instagram. Hit DM me. Listen, I am going to be so feet on the ground this whole journey. I don't give a fuck where it goes. I come from nothing. I come from that street. I come from that grind. I know what every one of you motherfuckers, is going through. And I'm telling you, I'm going to work with all I am to change it. Not just for me, not just for Jeff, not for all those other amazing growers, but the bud tenders, you guys, every business, every person. I don't give a fuck if they have nothing to do with this industry. We're going to help them. Sorry, guys. I just
it's all good.
What it's going to do that I could ramble on forever. I'm sorry. My passion sometimes spills out.
It's okay. Our next topic's going to be religion and vaccine efficacy. I'm just kidding. Sorry, I couldn't even make it through without laughing. Sorry, I had to throw that out there.
I love it. Don't worry about it.
Sorry, man. No, no. What I was gonna say. What I was gonna say, Kevin, is so you started off with the craft micro. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's not really realistic moving forward, just with your situation and trying to have any type of quality of life and get any real work done. So this new facility that I think you briefly told me it was roughly 350, 360 lights. Plus you guys are planning on doing an expansion. It's telling me right away it's an LP and not a craft micro just based off the size. So you've joined them, or you guys have partnered, or
so? Like I said, I'm not going to indulge everything, but I've been very blessed that I get to move into a situation very slowly. So what I want to do is I'm not looking to make the mistakes that big business made. I know that my program and what I do will work on any scale, but we're trying to be smart about it. As I said, we need to earn the respect of the rest of the world. They need to see that cannabis isn't a joke, that it is not valueless, that is not a $3 a gram product. So what we do is we walk into it slowly. I've been very blessed that my weed kind of speaks for itself, and my passion and what I want to do is something different. So what we will do is one room at a time. We're moving into a situation that We'll go in, hey, we create something amazing. It's working. You know what? The next stage, we walk into it gracefully, take our time. Hey, it's working. And from there, it continues. To me, my vision is worldwide. Like I said, I used to walk into 2, 3, 400 lighters that were doing awful. And in 8, 9 weeks, they were dropping quads that would fucking give you shivers. So it's just one step at a time, very slow. Do you know what I mean? I'm not looking, and this is not some weird ego thing to just blow up to this huge thing. I'm looking to earn the respect. I'm looking to elevate this so the government, Health Canada, everybody, the CRA looks at us different and respects us. You know, we deserve respect, but we have to earn the respect. And that's where it starts right here. And that's kind of where it is. Just without it, there's a lot. Like, I'm not going to drop everything. We could get into some amazing, crazy things that are going on. But it's like, just know that this is our chance to do something different, to not just change our life, but to change your guys' kids' life, their kids' life, and beyond. Our world is hurting. You can almost start to see the crack in the world. I look back to when I was a kid, and my mom used to call me, Kevin, supper, and now it's like this. There's no more connection. Weed helps things connect. It heals, it grows. I'm telling you, we need to teach people, learn. There's so much to come. Sorry, Thomas, I get off on tangents.
It's all good, brother. No need to apologize about anything. So now you
a little bit.
Just
That was-
a little.
That was my
Yes,
question.
a little bit.
Things are
so
happening.
were you not also coming out here to the island to potentially expand to do a project out here too? Or
Well,
did I-
no, I have a lot of, I haven't been asked to do anything on the island like that, but I have a lot of amazing collaborations that are coming out of the island. One of them will be announced at book club at the 1 year anniversary, which will be kind of cool, but I got to keep it under wraps till then. So there's a lot of amazing, great things coming. Like, to me, we're all a team. I'm in competition with no one but myself. I just want to wake up tomorrow and be a little bit better than I was today. That's my only competition. You know what I mean? So to me, the more we can all grow together, learn together, lift each other, teach each other, and be there for each other, the quicker we're going to get to where we need to be. The quicker that we're going to have the respect that we deserve. The quicker we're going to make the economy that we know we can. The quicker that we're able to provide like we can. Like, even as I start to expand, my focus is on how I make my employees' life better. I want them to show up in the work to work in the morning, knowing that I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to help create change. And that's what I want out of this. Like, this is something so much greater than myself. But I know it's for real. I know it's happening. I will let nothing fucking stop me. There's no way. There's absolutely no fucking way. And when I got people like you, friends like you guys, I know that we're going in the right direction. And it's just keep up the fight. I'm a realist. I know how long it's going to take, but I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm going to tell the government, you're either going to be part of making history or I'm going to wait till you get voted out. It's one or the other, because I am not stopping till history is made and we change the direction of what's going on. It's BC's time. It's Canada's time to get that spotlight and realize our industry is not a joke. We can create and shape something real that will help the whole fucking world. Our time is limited, so we act now. And like I said, I live my everyday like there's no tomorrow, so let's fucking get it. Excuse me, there I go with the language again. So
It's all good, brother. So for out of like since you've been at it on the legal market, are you working directly with processors, or are you working with an LP that's then processing it, or is it getting pre-rolled? Like, how is it coming to market for
okay,
you?
so there's been a couple ways. The area that I lived in, I was introduced to the processors joint venture. So they've been processing me since we have come on the market. As I said, I was a deer in the headlights. I was taken literally from the guy that stayed, because I had so much PTSD from being kidnapped, etc., that there was times that I used to duck and almost hide in the ditch in front of my house because the PTSD was so bad, and that's how real it is. So to be doing what I'm doing takes so much inside of me, but I know that it's for something greater than me. So just a sec, I'm a stoner. Remind me of the question. You gotta remind me of the question. I'm a stoner.
Sorry, these damn NyQuil got to me. Did I asked a question? Sorry here. I'm just trying to, I can't even remember what I said now. You got me going. Sorry.
That's jokes.
I'm drawing a blank, man. Just trying to breathe here.
Daydream for like a minute.
The question was, about our pre-rolls.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. So joint venture had helped me, and they were helping me get, everything to market. I also did a pretty cool collab with BC Legacy. They did some pre-rolls for me, and it worked really amazing. We did some great marketing, and things went really well. But, my vision is so grand where this is going to go, with the expansions and with the growth, Royal Harvest will definitely be doing, what's needed to do to not just because, to make the kind of change that I know we have to have growth within the company. So every step is a growth. They helped me, joint venture helped me very much getting out of the gate to where I am. So now I'm able to transition soon to where I'll be able to do my processing, sales, and etc. Through the new situations that are coming as we keep moving forward.
Cool, man. Charlene, have we got any other questions or anything?
So we had a question in the chat that would like to know if Royal Harvest sells seeds or flour.
Okay, so I sell, like I said, it's flour we're selling now, but we're about to get into absolutely every corner of this industry that you can. As I get something greater than myself has this happening. My product is different. We are going to, I want to not just, this is just isn't for me, this is for everyone. So the more that I can create, generate, and do will also elevate for everyone. So eventually, yes, we'll have nurseries. I've been in talk with some of the best breeders in the world. Everybody sees what's happening and is very excited to be part of this. So I'm very blessed. Eventually, yes, you'll be able to see every aspect of seeds to new genetics. Like my genetic list alone is mind blowing. I could probably pheno hunt until I'm gone, and then I used to concentrate on breeding at a very young age. I learned from amazing people doing some amazing breeding way back in the late 80s and just having some fun with it. Back when we used to like barbecues in the basement just to get the CO2 up. So I've learned some amazing things, and I've been carrying some genetics since then until now. So, the fun is just starting. The realness is just starting. I'm no longer working in shit piles. I'm being presented the places where we can really take this craft, this art, this passion to a whole new level. So yeah, in regards to that, we're about to touch on every single aspect that you can.
Nice. And then one more question about what are your personal favorite strains that you like to smoke?
Right now, hands down, frosted fruitcake. I don't even know how to explain it. To me, that is going to be the staple because I want something that everybody knows they can go to the store and every time it's a banger from smell, taste, smoke, quality. It's there. And then we're about to have so much fun. It's unreal. We're going to do so many pheno hunts, breeding, like it's about to become something special. We're about to shine around the world like we deserve. And it's time, right? It's time.
Do you have any other favorite strains?
Oh, sorry. And Master Kush Ultra, absolutely. I spoke that as well.
Sorry, brother. Come on,
that's a given. That's a given.
That was coming. Jeff's infamous MKU, Smoker's Farm. It's done well for him. He's been growing it for quite some time.
Watch out, because he's got vape pens coming right away.
Yeah, I've been rocking the Master Shelter for 2.5 years now, and basically it's sold before it's even grown, man. It's an awesome situation to be in right now, but things may change a little bit where I may get some more space and figure some more things out. It's exciting times.
And you know, Thomas, it's kind of funny when you look at Jeff and I. People have seen on our Instagram, we've done some great fun road trips and we have a lot of fun together. When I first got onto this, like I said, my vision has been for a long time. Like a year and a half before I even got into the legit market, I was like, I'm going to get into the legit market and win the Unicorn Cup. And I did. When I got into the legit market and started doing Instagram, I seen Jeff and Sherry. And I was like, these are two amazing people and they are two staples in this industry. I seen the value in their wholesomeness, their love, their quality in what they do. And I messaged Jeff on Instagram and said, hey, I want to come by. And here I am, a guy who just started doing a couple posts on Instagram, show up to the Instagram Masters place. And I sit in front of him and Sherry and I say, you guys are important to what I'm doing. You guys are going to show the world that cannabis is wholesome. It is great. It is love. It is passion, that anybody can do it. You know what? A mom and pop couple, a guy that's been through so much, someone who is struggling, anyone can. And it has blossomed such an incredible friendship. I could care less about the cannabis. I can care less about the Instagram post. It has made such a great friendship with him and Sherry that it's blessed. And the same as, you guys who are on here, Marcus and Thomas, who I know well, same thing. The friendships and everything else are priceless. I didn't keep friendships my whole life, but it was all for a reason, and I understand it. So all your guys that I already know, your friendships are a blessing to me, and thank you very much. And to those, that I will meet, become friends with, just know I'm trying to be the best me I've ever been. And I hope with, this kind of faith and belief that I have, we all can create something very special together.
Sorry, my chat just so busy. It's hard to try to keep up with everybody here. I forgot exactly what I was just about to ask you. Well, so with your
man, that's me, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, no, I know what I was going to first say to Jeff. With your craft micro, are you so you're not at full capacity?
No, I'm a little under full capacity right now. The market's so challenging that at this point, we're not going to expand our facility out here on our property where we live just because, I don't know, man, the market's quite unstable.
We're going to fix it.
We're going to fix it. I know this, but right now, I'm just being pretty careful. But again, yeah, hey, we sell out everything that we grow even before it's grown, man. It's an awesome problem for us to have. But yeah, I'd like there to be more Master Shelter out there. But yeah, like Kevin mentioned earlier, the vape carts, we're still trying to get them to market. We may have found a path now, but
there may be more Master Shelter eventually.
And there may be more Master Shelter eventually. This is a serious possibility. So more people can be happy.
Awesome. What were you going to say, Marcus? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Me?
Yeah, well, you were about to say something. I got you.
I don't. No, you're all NyQuil'd up. I wasn't going to say shit.
Okay, sorry, man.
That's okay. But I'll say something. Fucking inspirational to hear all the positive vibes and to feel the good energy in here tonight. A lot of good people in the chat rooms hanging out too still. I think we got still about 65 over on my channel. I don't know what's on yours, but people are hanging out.
Got 215, 216. So, yeah, I got 700 milligrams of edibles now, but it's not fully kicked in here yet. But I need something for this. Holy crap!
700 milligrams.
Yeah, I got a really high tolerance, so that doesn't do much to me.
That's a huge dose. It's a huge dose.
Like a tranquilizer.
That's not something I would do. Not in one go.
That's that's a very huge dose.
I took it like 20 minutes ago, so it should be hitting me around 9 p.m. So, so I can sleep. Yeah, no, it's I'm ready to take a tolerance break for about a month so that I can go back down to like 100. Anyways,
100's pretty high tolerance too for an edible. Like I puff tough, but I can feel a 20 milligram like perfect. Just a great, like whereas taking 5 of those is like, oof.
Yeah,
It's not fun.
I'm about 250, and then I get to the point where it hits me like, oh fuck, what did I just do? But it usually takes me that much to get it.
I gotta go to sleep. I take 300.
Wow. 300's a big dose for sleeping. I'll take like 20 to 30 at the end of the night.
I
Sleep
wouldn't
like
even
a
feel that.
baby.
Oh, you're lucky.
I don't feel it either. It's like it's your endocannabinoid system. So it's not like it's getting me all baked. It's just like regulating my endocannabinoid system.
Yeah, but I also needed to regulate my mind to shut off. And that helps me with that if I go higher dose.
You got those racy thoughts or what?
Yeah, just to shut it off, just to keep it to quiet down.
I did 200 milligrams once, and it was a 12-hour trip. Took it at 8 o'clock at night.
Well, yeah.
And I woke up the next morning high as a kite, and I had to call into work the next morning. I'm like, I ain't coming in today.
Yeah, well, I'm not advocating. I'm not advocating for large doses if you're not used to them.
No,
Like,
it was an accident.
It doesn't seem to matter what I do. If I take like this long tolerance break, the first time I take it, I get too high. Like I'll try to go to,
really.
I've got these gel caps, man. They are pretty crazy. I've had multiple people take one and have phone 911 thinking they're having a heart attack. Seriously.
Here's a question. Are you guys taking is it distillate or is it live hash rosin?
I'm taking rosin and I'm mixing it with sunflower lecithin and coconut oil. Do you want to? I actually wanted to bring one thing up to you actually because I know you're an expert when it comes to extracts. So when people are making distillate, there's some my friend I forget what he used to call it, but there's something that discharges that's really bad. It almost smells like fish. Do you know what I'm referring to?
Well, yeah, it's because so when they do short path molecular distillation, that process is done in a vacuum. And so because it's done in a vacuum, it has to be decarboxylated prior to going into this machine, or if it's not, it'll decarboxylate in the machine, and that fucks with the vacuum because it releases CO2 and creates more pressure than is supposed to be in the vacuum. Anyway, they heat up. Like a lot of these people that use like Root Sciences machines and were making distillate for many, many, many years, it's unfortunate that someone didn't show them the simple SOPs of, like hydrovac diffusing or steam distilling the fresh flower to get all the volatile organic compounds off, and then be like, here, now you can do whatever process you want to do to get the cannabinoids and then winterization, and then whatever the process you choose. There's a series of steps that will be required to get it to pure cannabinoids. And that rotten egg smell is basically like the volatile organic compounds that have been cooked on a heating plate because they were decarboxylating the resin before they could distill it.
Well, but my big point about it is years ago, I used to have all my edibles made from BHO, and I'd make them the same way, but you would burp up this gross taste. But when I make it from rosin, I don't have that taste. You don't have that taste. It's not there when you make it from stuff made from rosin. So that's what I was just kind of bringing. Like it's night and day difference.
Sign.
Yeah.
I like for sure.
I like it way better because it's a night and day difference.
But for those that don't know, like consuming rosin versus distillate, like if you take 10 or 15, 20 milligrams of distillate, you could probably take like 10 of rosin. It is stronger.
Totally.
What I take usually when I want to sleep is what I kind of call full spectrum cannabis oil or RSO. I just use multiple plants. I try to use, at least 3, maybe 5 different cultivars as far apart as I can find them. So I'm just trying to get that wide range, I'm trying to pull in that wide net of cannabinoids. It always seems to make something that knocks me right out. So yeah, that's usually what I'm taking.
I do the same thing where I'm taking high-end flour and pressing 3 types of high-end flour and then making it. Like I'm now, Marcus, what do you kind of feel like? Because like I'm taking my flour, I'm not making water hash. I'm just taking the flour and pressing it, and then making my rosin from there. Do you think I'm going to have any difference by making it into? Well, obviously, it would probably make a higher quality if I made it into water hash first and then pressed it. Is that kind of crazy that you eat it
this way? If you posted your flour rosin on Instagram, you would be like destroyed. Like people would just be like, the fuck is this guy talking about? Like, okay, so no, listen. First of all, I will show that I do have an appreciation for flour rosin in a few small cases. People give me flour all the time, and I don't really smoke flour. I haven't for like 24 years. But I do appreciate when someone gives me a nice flour, being able to squish it into a dab or two and then tasting it. I like that. But yes, obviously making it into hash first and then turning it into rosin, if the hash isn't the highest caliber, right? If it's not the highest quality melt, because if it is, why the fuck would you press it into rosin at that point? But if it isn't, which most people that are making rosin aren't getting full melt, you press it and you get your rosin, and it will be of a higher quality right off the bat. A good way to explain it, like these little bangers, they're like just the most ridiculous. Like I think this is a Toro. I think it's what JP sent it to me, but maybe this is like a $750 banger. So caring for it is very important. Making sure you clean it, making sure you have your dunk station with your isopropanol like nearby after you take your dabs, cleaning everything out good. Where was I going with that? That's pretty high.
I was just do you think it's a waste then though to make like to go through that process and then make edibles out of it after you've done that? Like
you want it as clean as possible so you're not chazzing that $750 banger.
You don't want to chazz the banger. That is correct. You're definitely correct on there. I've got my Terp Slurp banger. So this is I don't know how many of you guys hit out of this particular model or whatnot, but this is the Terp Slurper that was born out of a conversation that JP, the glassblower from Toro, and myself had. I was talking about sipping terps, and so he came up with this concoction based on me saying that to him, which is such a trip that now I can hold it in my hand and just like take the most impressive rips off these things. No, there was a point I wanted to make, but it wasn't just that you don't want to chaz it. There was a reason why I picked that up.
It will make it way better, or like I'm going to make a way higher quality edible in the end result, though. Bottom line is making it from bubble hash and then pressing it and then decarbing it. And also about
the
flavor too.
Flour rosin fucks these things up. That's the point I was going to make. You want to hit like nice full melt bubble or rosin that when you put it in here, and then you dunk it, you don't even have to put a Q-tip in there. You hold it up and you're like, that is as clean can be. That's the hash that you want to smoke when you're dabbing. Because when you're paying these kind of insane prices for bangers and such, types that they go in, you just want the experience to be nice through and through and know that you're actively destroying your equipment while you're puffing on it. So rosin, pretty big no for personal smoke and medicine. You can just turn it into hash. I'll come over there and make a bunch of hash with you anytime, dude. And you will find the edibles to be more on point when they're made from hash rosin than flour rosin.
Well, I'm excited to try.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it! I was going to jump in and say something, and I fucking forgot.
the worst. The worst edible experience.
I went fucking blank.
I want to hear about your edible experience, Heston.
No, I was just saying the worst. You're talking about like the best way and the cleanest and nicest way to consume it, and it's been years ago now, but it's still to this date the worst experience is we were going to make butter. Trying to extract like, a couple ounces of pretty decent flour into a bunch of butter that we were going to make brownies, and ended up like just turning into a big mess and couldn't strain it out properly and didn't have much butter. So we just ended up like putting the butter and the flour and everything in there. It was like you're eating brownies. It's just like chunks of stem and flour in your fucking teeth. You need to like floss afterwards. But I'm talking like, yeah, that was one of those 18-hour unpleasant experiences that just was a slow, like an IV of torture for quite a while. So,
Yeah.
I can remember one of my friends making it and burning the butter a little bit, and then making these cookies, and he must have put close to an ounce worth of flour into one cookie though, like when it the butter. So I remember eating, and it was burnt, and I remember he goes in the bathroom for an hour and throws up, and then it ruined my day, because I'm like, oh man, he threw up, what's wrong with it? I'm gonna throw up. And I remember feeling like I was on acid, because I hadn't even honestly done edibles in 20 years or something. It was the first time, and then taking some high dose where I'm hallucinating, bursting out laughing. My tongue is swollen. It's fucking insane.
Dude, it is as strong as LSD. Don't kid yourself. That 11-hydroxy metabolite, when THCA goes through your bloodstream and through your liver and metabolizes, that's something different.
Yeah, with zero tolerance, and you haven't done it before. It's absolutely insane.
It must be something in the way that butter specifically is metabolized, at least in my body, because I can tell differences. Like if I have, like, for sure, if I eat something that's distillate, it's just such an empty high. But like if I have something that's made with like an infused oil, we'll say like a brownie, I feel like it's like a little bit of a different high than if I have it made with the butter. For me, the butter stuff is way more potent to me, and it's like way more sedative to me.
It carries it through your system a lot more efficiently through the fat.
Well, do you know because we used to make a lot of edibles, and we used to really experiment with using coconut oil, sunflower lecithin versus soya lecithin, and we really found that the sunflower lecithin seemed to deliver it better. And having a 90% cocoa with 10% sunflower lecithin made the best delivery. And we really experimented with a lot of this. This is going back like 5 years ago. We used to make a lot of them, and it's just kind of interesting. Soya or
Sunflower.
Sorry, I'm losing the function to be able to speak here. Charlene, why don't we get Nightbot up? We got quite a few more people on our channel, so we're gonna do a giveaway. We're giving away a Master 6 Bloom. Mandy almost cut off my head last week for giving away 3 lights, so this week it's just 1 light. But we're gonna give away a light here. So all you have to do, if you can drop the link there, Marcus, in your channel. Or if you have any active mods that can post the link, we'll get everybody over.
What's the back, is it Grandmaster level? Is the youtube.com/Grandmaster level?
If you just type in Grandmaster level, it will come up right away.
I'm just punching it in like I know it into my chat rather than searching for it. Trying to be more efficient. I think I did it.
1 second here. I'll give it to you right here.
Oh, no, I didn't actually.
Here, I sent it. I just sent it to you in our. Oh, sorry. No, that was Charlene. I sent it to you in our WhatsApp. There we go.
I think I got you here.
There, the link is sent there.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, so we've got a.
Gnarly's asking you, what's up with the swag, GML?
It's coming. It's coming. We're working on it. It's like when we went to put in the order, it's like our prices just jumped up dramatically. We had to do a little bit of negotiating. It's kind of funny how that works. But
yeah, they try to pull it fast though, huh?
Anyways, we put our foot down, and we're going forward with 3 different places. So the last second they tried to charge us like way more than they should have been for t-shirts. Excuse me. Oh man, it's like I'm so stuffed.
The old bait and switch.
No, that's a common thing they like to
hook, line, and sinker.
It's like I remember when I used to work at old Best Buy selling appliances. They had the free delivery, and what they didn't tell everybody was they just said you didn't get free delivery. We still charge you for delivery. We just took it out of the price.
Exactly. I don't know.
So. Yeah. But yeah, I always thought that was funny.
I know last week we were talking about how I always get screwed over for food. Well, in the last week, I got screwed over 4 times. It's kind of funny.
What?
Yeah, like it's like it just doesn't seem to matter, man.
Well, it's a vibration. You're vibrating at the frequency that exists in. So you either need to like raise or lower your vibration and get out of the current one. Because you know what, it used to happen. It used to happen to my wife a fair bit. She would order things and they just wouldn't hear her, and they would bring the wrong thing.
You have to manifest the good food, good food, and it will come.
Speaking
was
of
just
lower,
wild.
speaking of lower voice, GML, that'll do it. They'll be able to hear you better.
I was actually happy because I ordered these chicken fajitas and they were the most bland fajitas I've ever tasted in my life, with no flavor at all. And then I was like, I can't take it back though, but I was just like, then I see a hair and I was like, oh, sweet. I'm like, I don't even care if I have to pay for this. I want something else. I'm turned off chicken. Anyways, yeah, it's just
I'm laughing particularly hard because he sent me pictures of all of this shit.
yeah,
I can actually picture it all. Literally.
I go for pepper. I go and take a pepper shaker and the thing isn't screwed on.
I got that one too.
Dump pepper across my whole freaking breakfast.
The morning eggs.
Yeah.
I was like, why is he sending me this picture of all this pepper on eggs?
Have a little eggs with your pepper.
Yeah, like I was absolutely starving trying to find somewhere to eat on the way to Marcus's place, and then I find this store that's like, and they make a special order for me, and they're like, oh no, we'll make it from scratch for you, make a breakfast burrito, and then I get it, and they forgot eggs with salsa and beans and cheese. But hey, man, I was starving, so it was actually all right.
Is this the same group that left like bacon on your sandwich that you ordered without bacon?
Well, I originally said, can I get a sandwich and they're without bacon? They're like, sure. And then I catch them just lifting it up and pulling the bacon out. I'm like, actually, no, I don't like the taste of it. So I'll still taste it if you do that. Yeah, it was a classy place. You'd have to see this, but I was surprised it was even functioning or even open when I saw it.
I'll take just toppings only, please.
I literally went in there and everything is crossed out on the menu. One option.
Must be fire, man. They selling out
with 48 different IPAs.
Yeah. There's this little town. There's this little town in Silverton, Alaska. It's at the end of the road, literally, and there's maybe 50 people population, and it's like a big last chance to get groceries and supplies before you hit into the really deep wilderness. And there's a cafe called the It'll Do Cafe, and there's no menu. You go in, you sit down, and they just make whatever they have ingredients for on hand and bring it to you. You can't complain, you can't change it, you can't substitute, you can eat it. You got to pay for it when you get it. Shut the fuck up and get out. It's the most,
It'll do.
It'll do. It'll do because it's the only cafe within hundreds of miles.
So get what you get and don't get upset.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't do well there. Yeah, Preston's witnessed it. We've hung out once. And I don't know, I think you witnessed it twice with me, hanging out with me for 2 days.
Yeah, bad luck. He has a curse.
Just for food.
I've seen it.
Hey, when I was younger, anything I touched turned to gold, and then all of a sudden, like a cloud just grew and started following me around. But hey, it's still pretty good. Things are going pretty good. I don't do well ordering food. But okay, well, it looks like we got.
You haven't found someone to order food for you by now. I'm sure you. I'm surprised you haven't had Mandy do that for you.
Well, right down
Mandy
the road.
Orders for you. Do you still get it messed up?
Yeah, so not usually. What's crazy is I've been dealing with this one place for 6 years down the road from me, and there's this one girl. We've had a whole bunch of issues over the years, and like it got to the point where I'm like I couldn't order through her, and then 4 years had passed, and I started ordering through her. And then like I got so screwed over just a couple of weeks ago. So then she answers the phone and I'm like, oh, okay, you know what? My last meal got really screwed up. Could I, you seem to have issues taking my order. Could you please pass it to someone else? And I was being as nice as possible. And then I hear she passes it to the owner, and I hear her
Doesn't sound
say,
very nice. She probably was
no,
pissed.
she says, I think it's Thomas on the phone, and I'm not comfortable taking his order. So she said,
She totally flipped it on you.
Oh,
you were comfortable until I said it. Yeah, she's not comfortable. It's just ridiculous.
Wow.
It's so
That's
funny. I
insane.
told the
You're making-
owner too, right when she picked up. I'm like, I heard her say that. I asked for you. She just burst out laughing. She did. Okay, so we got 176 here. Okay, well, should we roll it here or what?
Yeah, you ready?
Roll this thing.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
Takamak. Takamak.
It's
Taco Mac.
Takamak.
T-O-K-A-M-A-K.
That sounds like it's from your
Takamak.
channel, Marcus.
Congratulations, Takamak.
Yeah, congrats.
Woohoo!
And what do they win, GML?
They won a Master 6 Bloom. You can stop.
Oh, sweet.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what Pheno Hunter has been growing all that fire that you guys have seen. He actually got featured under High Times. Actually, I forgot to bring that up last week, that he got featured under High Times. Or maybe we did bring it up. I'm not sure. Kevin, how you doing over there, Jeff?
We're doing great. Amazing.
We're doing really good, man. Everything is good. We're all hot boxed in here and high as hell.
hell yeah.
How's that wine treating you? You had some fish bowls there, I saw.
The cardboard dough is absolutely delicious we're having tonight.
Nice.
Cardboard dough.
Is there anything else
Can't go wrong.
that you guys want to touch on there, Kevin?
What's that?
Is there anything else that you guys want to touch on or bring up, or like?
You know what? In the big picture, no. I think we had a great time, but it comes down to this is our time in this industry to really take control, make a difference, get the respect that we earn and need. We can generate, so much. I'm going to put my everything I am in every day to take this to a different level. Again, Thomas, Marcus, I'm meeting so many amazing people that are going to help the dots connect to creating something that will really make some amazing change in the world. So I want to take the time to thank every one of you guys, everyone that's listening, everyone that's going to hear this, and even those that don't, because I'm not going to have this end any other way. This is the beginning of great change, not just in our industry, but so far beyond. So, it is what it is. I love what I do. I'm very blessed. From 12-year-old Kevin to where I am right now, the best is yet to come, not just for me, but for everybody.
And old school growers trying to make a difference, man.
Absolutely.
And, trying to propel us to this level instead of kind of down here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, I think that your message is pretty clear, that if you put your mind to it, you could do it. And
anything is possible. Anything is possible. Your only limitation is yourself. When you give up and you stop, you'll never get there. But if you can really start to control yourself, your thoughts, your life changes.
Exactly. Just because if you don't make it there on the first attempt,
man,
like look at us, like we're, I'm in my 40s now, and it's like, man, I've missed out on so many different things, or almost made it so many times, then lost out huge. So, and like, that's why I always like to remind people not to give up. But at the same time, if it's not working out, at some point, you sometimes have to make the decision, hey, this idea is not working. Let's move on to the other one, or let's adjust it to make it work. Because I've seen people lose it all because they weren't willing to accept that it was a bad idea.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's pretty incredible, and you're exactly right.
Yeah, I knew a guy that he had an idea for making canes. And he had this genius idea to put pepper spray in the top of canes, because all these old ladies are getting robbed all the time. No, I don't know. And anyways, he ended up losing everything because they didn't afford this idea. They made canes that fit little pepper spray slots on the top. Sorry.
Don't give
like
weapons.
a walking cane. Is that what
I'm
you're
just
talking
Yeah,
about?
like walking canes with pepper spray
Nice.
inserted on the top.
Man,
It's
don't
kind of
give
ridiculous.
don't give old people weapons because they don't give a damn, and they will be fucking just spraying it to try to be funny.
Like they lost everything though. Like they mortgaged their house. I'm not laughing.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
It's just like, you needed a friend to say, hey, it's not the best idea. Like, and you also don't want that negative Nancy, because a lot of times when you got an idea, you got someone saying, oh, that's a bad idea. And it doesn't matter what you say. Oh, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Got a lot of people always chirping like that. You got to ignore those people too.
Yeah. You can't listen. You need to know within yourself. Don't give a fuck what anybody else has to say to you, about you. Know what's real within inside yourself. And man, like when you're trying to live for the right reasons and do the right things, the right shit happens. It's how it goes. Years ago, I'd be the guy that tell you manifesting, faith and belief. That shit, is just what people say. No, that shit is real. But it's getting through all the bullshit to realize that it's real is the hard part. And, once people can get through that hard part, the best is yet to come.
Does anybody else want to speak?
Dude, leave that poor cane fucking
Struggling to
bastard
breathe
alone,
here.
dude. He lost his house, for Christ's sake. Leave him alone. Stop laughing at the poor guy.
I'm still recovering from that, thinking about that. Sorry, guys. Just like, oh, sorry. No, I'm having a tough time laughing with my not being able to breathe through my nose.
Those Nyquil's kicking in hard.
I was just gonna say those capsules are kicking
He's
now.
on that syrup. He's sticking that syrup.
Yeah, scissor. Scissor.
So yeah, guys, well, we're basically at the 2-hour mark, basically. So I guess unless there's any direct questions that anybody wants to ask anybody, or any anything else that we want to touch on, we can just go directly into shout outs.
I had 2 questions come across a little earlier. Again, can you explain the best way to use the 730 in flower stage?
Okay. I recommend using 730 nanometer the whole time. And for 15, if you have a 2-channel light and the ability to use it for 15 minutes after the lights go out, I definitely recommend it. It's been kind of heavily debated with a lot of different people, but I believe we have seen raw results and data to really confirm that it's going to shorten your crop anywhere from 3 to 7 days, even though that we've seen it even higher than that.
And you're creating the Emerson effect when you mix the 660 and the 730, so it makes your plants way more efficient all the way through. So
absolutely,
use it all the way through. You can reduce stretching by using it less in veg, but once you hit flower, just crank that up, and you're creating the Emerson effect. So it's plant efficiency, and it's been proven. And there's a lot of studies out there. Just look up Emerson effect, Google it, do some research. It's proven.
And for reducing the stretch, it's not really a concern as long as you don't have a higher level of the 730 nanometer than the white channel, or like as long as the 730 nanometer isn't representing more than 9% of the spectrum. In our single channel lights, the 730 nanometer represents 6% of the spectrum, and anywhere where we can control it, it represents 9%. Did you say there was another question too?
Sweet. Sure. Yeah. Next one's for Heston. There was quite a bit of people that were wanting to know about your classes. I put your Instagram link in there. Is there a better way that they can access all of your info?
Yeah, thank you for that question. It's florofarm.com, and you can drop your email. There's a sign up right on the page, and the landing page. Drop your email. The last pre-launch video live session is tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and then we start the class. We'll start the following week. So There's still time to sign up for the class, and even after the class starts, the videos are going to be logged on the website, and you can view those anytime once you do sign up for that class. So FLORO farm.com.
Someone can
Perfect.
also put it in chat, maybe, or
I have
anybody
it in chat. I'll pin it to the top for a little bit.
Thank you. Sorry.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Well, I think that pretty much, I think we had a really good conversation. I was really happy to hear Kevin's story. So I'm going to toss it over to Kevin and Jeff. Shout outs first. So basically at the end of the show, we just kind of give a shout out. If there's anybody you want to plug or give a shout out to, you guys are more than welcome to. So Kevin.
Okay, well, for me, I literally want to shout out to every single one of you out there. Those who have been resilient, who has lasted, who has went against the grain, who has taken the risk, who puts it in every day. I'm trying to create something different. This is not for myself. This is something greater than myself. So to me, I appreciate everybody that shows up, puts in their work, their love for this plant, supports us, sees what we're doing. The best is yet to come. There's more collaborations, there's more friendships, there's more greatness. You guys together as a community, we're really going to teach and create something incredible together. So there's a list so big of so many people that I want to shout out. So literally, it's just to everybody. My heart goes out to every one of you that is putting your heart and your sincerity into what you're doing. How about you?
Great shout out. My shout outs, I'm happy to be a part of this, to help Kevin tell his story a little bit and to sit here and be a good supporter of you, man. And yeah, man, anybody that watches what we do in the industry, man, we're very thankful for it. People's eyes are on us, which is really cool, man, because we are trying to change the industry in a way, and hopefully we can be successful.
I told everybody that we take those words out. We hope. We know we'll be successful. Change the words, change your thinking, and you change your life. Like, it is for real. Look at Johnny B out there. Look at my weight loss. Believe in yourself. Know that no matter how hard life is, there's a way. You got to find it. You got to work for it. You can't give up. I still struggle. I'm still financially hurting. I still have a hard time connecting the dots. Sometimes am I going to put fuel in my truck or am I going to eat? But I know things are going to change. I see it. Life is amazing. Count every day as a blessing. Nothing is guaranteed. That breath you just took, you're not going to get it in again. So live life like that. Thank you guys very much for everything, every single one of you.
Well, I really appreciate that, Kevin and Jeff. I'm going to pass it over to Heston.
Hey, yeah, shout out to Kevin and Jeff. Thanks for coming on. That was beautiful hearing the passion and dedication you have to the plant. And shout out to home growers all across the country, Canada, the world. As a matter of fact, there's people that are super passionate and talented with this plant all over the planet. And it's great to see communities forming all over the place. And quick shout out to the class coming out, FloralFarm.com, all my sponsors, Grassroots Fabric Bags, Dr. Zymes, Gnome Automatics. It's going to be a fun class. If you guys are interested in converting over to the no-till lifestyle, check it out.
Thank you, brother. I'm going to pass it over to Preston.
Hey, just like to give a shout out to the winner of the light tonight, to all the panelists and UGML for putting on such a great show every week, and for being so generous with all these giveaways. Like to give another shout out for Current Culture, CCH2O, for helping me out in a very tough situation. I very much appreciate it. You guys are super solid company. And thanks to Kevin and Jeff for joining us tonight. I think a lot of us growers can relate to what Kevin was saying tonight with all the struggles, and I completely relate with him. And it's refreshing to hear other stories about people going through struggles and just keeping your chin up, like GML said, and just pushing through and making things happen. And yeah, people are going to see your passion, and things are going to happen for you. So just keep pushing on and never give up. So thanks, everybody.
Thanks, brother. Marcus.
Well, I mean, look, obviously, shout out to everyone on the panel. Great chat tonight. Great hanging out and puffing some bowls with you all. And then, of course, you know, because I don't think it gets enough shout outs, I'm going to shout out all the hacks worldwide. I'm shouting you out, hacks. Go get smoked. Go inspire the good people of this world. Shout out to the hacks.
Thank you, brother. Spartan.
Thank you. Shout out everyone on the panel, man. I love coming on the show and just it's like, I don't know, just coming meeting friends and family every fucking week. So I miss it when we don't have it. So thank you, GML, for still having it even when you're sick, man. I appreciate it. Kevin, Jeff, love your story. Thanks for coming on and sharing, man. It's always cool to hear people with passion, man. Passion about the plant. That's what we need to drive the industry forward. You know, you got to have that passion first, and then everything else comes after. So that's cool. It's awesome that you guys are there fighting the fight in Canada. Hopefully we can get some of that down here in Michigan. Shout out to chat today. It was popping all day long. It was pretty lively chat today. So it's cool to see their participation as always. And if you're in Michigan, you know, you can always hit me up at Spartan Grown on Instagram. You can shoot me a DM, or you can shoot me an email at russ@gmlarmy.com, and we can schedule a visit. Let me get out there. Let me see your facility. I want to see what you got going on, and maybe I can talk to you about some lights and some new things that we got coming down the pipe pretty soon.
Amazing, brother. Don't worry, I got some stateside stuff coming. I'm just one step at a time. So we'll see you sooner or later.
Nice.
Awesome. Charlene.
Hello, I would like to shout out GML and the panelists for sure. Kevin and Jeff, thanks for being on here. Your guys' energy and your passion is just absolutely fantastic. Shout out to Emily. I don't see her, but I know she was on there. Mandy showed up. Shout out to Mandy. Shout out to the chat, to the viewers. Thank you guys for coming, chatting, putting out some good stuff there. And yeah, shout out. Oh, I'm okay. So I'm gonna also shout out Trim Bag, because we're just knee deep in pounds of outdoor harvest, and their product has saved our life. Trim Bag is amazing. And then shout out to Eric at home, who does all the trimming while I don't. But I'm gonna start. So yeah, but yeah, it was a great night. So shout out to everybody who made it a great night. Thanks.
Well, thank you very much. And yeah, we just want to thank everybody for coming every single week. We're really trying to be pushing hard on YouTube and really coming back in full effect. We're pretty excited. It looks like Grandmaster LED's USA location is going to be in Jackson, Michigan. You know, I was bringing up last week, you know, we can buy a hospital for $600,000 out there. Like, we're doing pretty good. It's like we're literally we're paying pennies on the dollar to buy something. It's just insane. So we can't really see a better spot to be able to distribute out of. It's just like, you know, it's just insane how cheap real estate is there. It must be cold in the wintertime or something.
Oh, it definitely is.
Is that where the water kills you?
Man. I don't know.
I don't drink water.
I'm just joking. Just joking when I said that. But anyways, and so we have a lot upcoming next week. I'm actually hoping that Marcus from GrowLink comes on the show. Again, I know I keep on bringing it up, and I wanted to talk more about that today, and I can't even talk properly, so that's just not even possible. But everybody's going to just be mind blown away with their system and like why it's so important. And even if you're not really implementing it to use it to be able to irrigate or crop steer, just the data alone. And I follow a lot of different people, and I saw some people that were using some under canopy lights, and they were seeing some record breaking drinking that they have never seen underneath that. So to be able to kind of log it and see where your plants are. And another one of the reason why I think it is so crucial, throughout each crop, your plants are changing how much they're drinking and when they're drinking, and the drybacks change. And to be able to have a program that's got the AI programmed in to change that every single week. So it's perfect for you. So you don't even have to make the adjustments. It's life-changing. And I want to embrace it, and I'm really excited to dive into it and get the system set up. Marcus is going to have a couple tents set up at his place too with the same sort of system. So we're going to both get to kind of demonstrate it, and we're pretty excited. Again, so you could reach out to anybody on the team for a consultation or just to talk about lighting. Marcus, Heston, Russ is all officially on Grandmaster LEDs. There's rebates across the country. It doesn't cost anything to find out what you're eligible for. So hit us up and let's just see what we can make happen, because it's pretty mind-blowing in some areas. And this isn't going to last forever. Okay, guys, we'll see everybody next week. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
See ya.
everybody.
See ya.
So are we on YouTube still?
I just ended it.
Okay.